Welcome, Greek U Nation, to episode number 582 of the Fraternity Foodie Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Mike Ayalon, CEO of Greek University. I'm a speaker and an author. Our sixth book just came out. It's called I'm So Beautiful, It's Ridiculous. Unleashing and promoting strength, self-worth, and real sisterhood. So go and pick up that book on Amazon or Barnes& and Noble today. We call these episodes the Fraternity Foodie Podcast because there is nothing like great food to bring fraternity and sorority leaders together. Fun fact, I am a huge stand-up comedy fan. Eddie Murphy Raw and Chris Rock's Bring the Pain is some of the wildest comedy that I've ever seen in my life. And I remember being in awe the first time I saw it in terms of their abilities to make people laugh in that way. Their careful creation of a joke and the delivery was so on point. I think that might be where I fell in love with public speaking, even if comedy is not really my true calling in life. Our next guest has that laughter ability. Dr. Kiana Dancie is a one-woman revolution at the intersection of laughter, healing, and empowerment. She is an award-winning comedian, a transformational speaker, a celebrated actress, a best-selling author, a certified emotional intelligence coach, and a serial entrepreneur just like me. With over 15 years of experience in entertainment and personal development, she has masterfully turned her pain into purpose and her voice into a vessel for global healing, whether that be through her best-selling books, her captivating keynotes, her unapologetic comedy, or her movement-making platforms. Dr. Kiana Dancie is not just someone to watch, she's someone to work with, to learn from, and to never forget. Welcome to the show, Dr. Dancie.
Hey, how are you? We made it, Doc. We made it.
We made it. We made it. We finally got here. I'm so happy to have you on the show. I know all of our college student listeners are going to absolutely love hearing your story. I need to know more about your college time because now, today, you're an actress, a comedian, speaker, author, mental health advocate. I mean, you do everything. Can you take us back to your college years? I'm wondering why you chose Georgia Southern and what were some of those struggles that you were going through at that time?
So listen, let me tell you this. I actually applied to go to Clark Atlanta. I wanted to go to the AU Center here in Atlanta, Georgia, but my mother bribed me and said, if you go away, I'll buy you a car. So when Georgia Southern said yes, I said yes. So, right. So I didn't know anything about Georgia Southern other than I knew that it was away, it was far, and I was going to be able to drive there and back home. I love Georgia Southern, but it was not my ideal place. It's in the middle of nowhere. There literally was a Kmart and a Walmart, and I'm from the big city. So I was like, what am I going to do here? And my mother was like, whatever you do, you will drive there. And she had a point.
All right, well, listen, it worked out because now you're a dedicated alum. So I guess in the end, it all worked out, right?
Absolutely, it did. Georgia Southern made me who I am today. I had when I got out there, I really didn't know a whole lot of people that went from my high school because at my school, Spanish was the first language. So
Mhm.
I didn't know a lot of people that went to Georgia Southern. And when I got there, I had to really create a community of friends and girlfriends, and that's what I did when I got to Georgia Southern.
I love it. Fantastic. Now, what inspired you to merge comedy with emotional healing and empowerment? Where did that come from?
You know what? After years and years of carrying deep emotional drama and trauma, I'm a child molestation survivor. I went through my own drama, my own childhood trauma. And although I had been on the couch since I was 6 years old, my mother always curated an environment where I can speak about it. But what I realized also, many people were not comfortable talking about their trauma or their drama. And as you know, and I'm sure you experienced some things in life through the pandemic, we all went through a time. And so it just really woke me up when I had friends who were not dealing very well with that transition. Our lives changed overnight. And so I chose, and I'll be honest with you, I had a plastic surgery. It starts with a B, not the BBL. I had the bags under my eyes removed. And as I was laying there healing, I was having a conversation with God. I don't know if you're a believer, but I told the Lord, I said, listen, God, I need to be prettier and I want to heal look younger now. Now, the doctor that did my surgery, he was fine. He was so fine. So I was sure that somebody helped him cheat on the test. So all I needed to know that my eyes was going to be the same size. You know what I mean? And so as I was healing externally, I was having a conversation, and the Lord said, "You need to heal internally."
Mm.
So I started working on my internal baggage so that I could look as good on the outside as good on the inside. You hear me?
Mhm. I hear
And
you.
sometimes when you're talking about the harder things like drama and trauma and the things that you've been through, it's much easier to swallow with a dosage of laughter.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that makes total sense to me. And so, in all of your programs, you use these group laughter exercises, storytelling to break down all of those emotional barriers. Talk to us
Mhm.
about a memorable moment from one of your workshops where this laughter leads to a big breakthrough.
Yeah. Yeah. There's, listen, let's be honest. So we are talking, I'm not a sorority girl, but you are a sorority guy, and many of the ladies and gentlemen that are going to be here are going to be in a sorority or frat.
Yep.
And when I'm on campuses, I'm talking to just a variety of students. But I will tell you, oftentimes there are breakups and makeups within the organizations, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes I ask them, like, well, what is happening? What caused that infraction in that relationship? Was it laughable? What brought it on? First of all, let's talk about it. Who took whose boyfriend and what did what to who, what happened? So once we talk about it and we really realize it was silly. It was silly. And oftentimes, you just have to find the emotional, intelligent moment to realize, girl, we're not even with him no more. Girl, we can kick him to the bucket or kick her to the side and just move on. So I remember on campus, there was a whole blowout about a girl. Let me bring it home with me. So the
Mhm.
reason why I did not, I didn't pledge was because the guy that I was dating cheated on me with an AKA.
Mhm.
It
Yep.
was a mess,
It's a
right? It was
mess.
a mess. But I'll tell you, once I stood back and started laughing at it, like it was really funny. And I encourage all the students on campus, even when there is a frustrating moment in your life, especially on campus, step back, take the time, and laugh about it. And that's what I encourage everyone that attend my workshops. Pause, laugh, because it would change not only the energy in the room, but oftentimes the relationship or the situation with whoever you're mad at.
Yeah. I bet if you sat down with that AKA today, you guys would laugh your you know what's off
We
about
sure
that
will.
guy.
We'll laugh at each other, with each other, and about him.
For sure, for
Because
sure.
because for sure I've seen her recently. She is cute, and I'm still cute, and he look a mess.
You see? So yeah, you both were
Life
like,
was
woo,
hard for
dodge that
him.
bullet.
That part, that part. But
You have
again,
this.
I would never forget, just to really hone in on that, I would never forget, like there was a young woman who was in one of my sessions who she hadn't said a word all day long, not one time. But when we finally did the group laughter session, which literally group laughter is belly laughs, ha 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 ha, it's a fake laugh. But eventually you start laughing. Recall something that you have been laughing, thinking about that's funny. Recall something that made you gut belly laugh. And this young lady said nothing at all. And then she just bust out laughing until she started crying. I said, What was that? She was like, you would not believe how I was just laughing about how I fell down the steps. In the moment, it wasn't funny. But she said, I tripped over my shoe, I lost my wig. It was all these things that made her really laugh from the belly. So I remember just really making that impact because she thought it was the end of the world for her. But in all actuality, it wasn't.
Yeah. Listen, that happens to me almost every day on social media. There are these college students that will low key be roasting me on social media, and sometimes they're funny. Like, I gotta give it to them. I'll be like, you know what? That right there, that's good. I mean, that's good material.
It can be, but it's never as funny as it is. When you're in the midst of it, it's not that funny. But
Right.
after you look back in hindsight, you're like, that was hilarious.
You have this, one interesting program. It's called Sisterhood Reset. And in
Yeah,
there, you're using those three R's, the framework, which is to recognize, release, and realign. So, how can
absolutely.
sorority sisters apply these principles in order to build stronger, more authentic relationships?
I love this question, by the way. Well, first of all, you start with being vulnerable. You absolutely have to be vulnerable. These are your sisters. You're going to be with them for 4 years, and in the beginning, ideally for a lifetime, right? You're going to
Mhm.
go through births and marriages and divorces and sicknesses and ups and downs. So you have to be vulnerable with those who are around you and those who you're putting in your community. I also encourage everyone to recognize when you and your sister is carrying something heavy and step in to help her carry it. It's hard being a woman, or even, you know what? It's hard being a human being on this planet right now, but
Mhm.
specifically being a woman, because we're expected to carry a whole lot, not complain about it, be cute about it, keep your chest high, stay slim, stay in all the parameters what people think are acceptable and proper. That's a lot of weight and a lot of burden to bear. And so I encourage sisters to grab hold of your friend, grab hold of your sister, and let her know, I got you. And then you may not even know, she may be too shamed, too shy to even say that she's going through. But if you see it, tap her on her shoulder and remind her, you're not alone. We're all going through something at the same time. And your something may not look like mine, and mine may not look like yours. But at the end of the day, if we can get through this together, we all win. And so I also want to require, the second R is release. Release judgment. And then, just make sure that when someone do come to you, you're not judging them. You're letting them know this is a safe place. It's a safe space for you to communicate whatever it is that you're going through. And even if you cannot relate, maybe you help her find the resources for her to get the support that she needs. I am a mental health advocate, and I believe wholeheartedly that oftentimes the root of our issues is that we have not addressed what's hurting us here. Our mental needs to be, we need to balance out our mental. We need a safe place to say, I'm struggling, wave your white flag and say, I need help. So once you release that judgment, things don't have to be perfect. They just need to just address the fact that things you're going through. And then I would say realign. Show up for each other with grace, because in honesty and accountability, and let your sister know, hey, I love you. And whatever you're going through, you're not going to go through this by yourself. I'm going to hold your hand and do it. Don't say I love you. I'll go through it with you and then abandon her. Be That's how you build bonds, and you go beyond the line numbers and beyond the names that whatever your name is when you're online, and it lasts for a lifetime. You let your sister know that I'm here for you.
That's
Period.
great. That's a really good program. I think a lot of students are really going to like that. It's called Sisterhood Reset. You also founded Bags, which is becoming a guiltless survivor to help women to connect with mental health experts, which I think is super important. What
Yeah.
kinds of baggage do you see that college students are carrying around the most, and how can they just let go of those bags?
Yeah, it's a challenge. And I love this question too. You good. So this, this is a great question because becoming a guiltless survivor is very important to me, because as a child molestation survivor, my mother did put me in counseling when I was 6 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, she should have also probably been in her own counseling and or therapy. And I'm not sure if she didn't do therapy because either one, she couldn't afford it, two, she didn't think she needed it. But either way, she went with me, but she didn't have her own personal therapist. What I would encourage people specifically is, one, don't be ashamed if you need to talk to someone. I subscribe to PCP, prayer, couch, and prescription. Everyone don't pray. I understand it. So we can change it up. We can say meditate. So maybe it's MCP, meditate, couch, prescription. Get the help that you need. But know that if, because a lot of time, especially in the community, people of color, they tend to run to the church opposed to a therapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say on campus, there is always a place that you can go to say, I need help and I need some support. Don't be ashamed. Encourage your sisters to go there or your brother to go there, to get some help. The couch is your therapist, your friend. If your therapist is only subscribing you a prescription, that's not the doctor. That's not the therapist or a counselor for you. You want someone to help you build a community. So it's more than just a drug. It's important that you understand that some of the things the students are carrying on campus, being the first one to go to college, having to leave home, financial issues, insecurity in the way that they look, or they're comparing themselves to other people, other students on campus. They may not be moving, as quickly as far as socializing on campus. There may be an issue in the classroom. Maybe they don't understand as well. Maybe they have learning disabilities. So I would say to you that there's a lot of baggage that they come onto campus with, but the goal is to find a safe place that they can communicate that I'm struggling.
And every campus has that counseling center. I really wish that I would have used the counseling center on my campus, especially for men too. It's just, I don't know, there's something about the counseling center that we avoid that place like the plague. because we want to show that tough exterior, but the reality is we're paying for that. Your tuition is paying for that person to sit at their desk at the counseling center, whether you use that resource or you don't. That person is still going to get paid. So go use that and get started early. I agree with you. The earlier you can start talking to somebody, I think the earlier you can work through some of these issues. And you also wrote the book Bye Bye Bags, Laughing to Lighten the Load, which really does offer a humorous path to healing. So, what is one takeaway from the book that you wish that every college student knew?
You're not the bags you carry. No matter what you've been through, no matter what hand that you have been dealt, no matter trauma or drama that you've been through, you are not that. That does not define you. It may have curated who you have become today. And just because it's messy doesn't mean it's meaningless. It is what it is, but you have to make the decision that you're going to put one foot in front of the other. And that's what's really important is the effort. Just it sometimes, I was talking to my friend yesterday. He said sometimes the effort is just waking up.
Yeah.
Just just remember you're not the bags that you carry. Baggage. Well, we all have baggage, and that's the thing. Many young men, men period, don't like to say I got baggage.
Hmm.
We all do, but you call it something different. Just know that you're not the bags you carry. They don't define you, and it's up to you to make a decision that you're going to move.
Yeah, I appreciate your vulnerability. I think that's really important, and that's why people hook into you because you're just out with it, and then that makes it feel like we're okay too, even if we're a little broken too, then
Yeah.
it's okay, right? Because you're like, yeah, this is who I am, and okay.
But here's the thing, you don't have to unpack it over, just everything doesn't have to be unpacked in one unpacking. No, it doesn't overnight. It takes time
Yeah.
to be from where I was to who I am today. It took time. It's like with anything. Okay, you're a man. You
Yeah.
got a nice beard. I don't
I
know
do.
if your beard always connected, but it takes
Takes
time.
time.
So you have to just give yourself grace and just understand that what you want to be and who you desire, from where you are to who you desire to be, it takes time. Just give it some time. It
Yeah.
don't stay rough forever. If your little beard is not connected, rub it, rub it. It takes time.
That's funny. Shout
Ladies,
out to
for the
Trayvon.
ladies,
Shout out to
yes.
Trayvon,
Hey, Trayvon, good
one
to
of our
see you.
speakers. He's still trying and struggling because it's not connecting and it just hasn't grown in yet. I was like, well, just keep
Let me
at
just
it.
get some
That's
of
all
that.
right.
Just keep that. Get some of that hair stuff. That put it right there. It'll grow. It'll grow.
Oh, that's funny. So, all right. So, for all the students who feel stuck, I mean, there's so many students listening right now that have been through trauma, and maybe they're afraid to be vulnerable like you, especially in a group setting where it's just embarrassing and they're not ready to share it in a group. What
Yeah.
would you say to those people?
First of all, I don't want you to mistake your baggage for your identity.
Hmm.
And your silence may feel safe, but it's not where you're feeling you're healed. You're not healed in your silence. I'll tell you, I'm a believer, so I'll just be very honest with you. The enemy, the devil, whoever you want to reference, he likes when you're on your rock in your room by yourself in the dark. He loves that. That's when he get loud. That's when he is. You'll be here by yourself. Your friends can tell you, because I'm going to speak to you. When you're in your room by yourself and you're locked away, the door is locked away, and the blinds are pulled, and you're just suffering alone. That's when he get loud.
Hmm.
That's when your thoughts are, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm too short. I'm too tall. I'm not smart. All the things that you have allowed the enemy to speak to you. And those are the things that you're repeating and recycling to yourself. They get louder. Listen to me. Adjust your volume. Turn down the negative and turn up the positive, whatever that looks like to you. Go around friends who are going to celebrate you, that's going to honor you, that's going to, push you up. I believe in push prayer until you pray until something happens. And if you don't, okay, if you don't pray, fine. Get a girlfriend that's going to say, sis, I don't care what's going on with you. I'm not going to leave you in here by yourself. Let's go. Let's go.
Hmm.
So be brothers, men, fellas, same thing. Get on the basketball court, get in the gym, put some different type of music in your ear. The things that you recycle and you see are the things that most of the times you become.
Yeah. You're right about that. I think we need to be really careful about all of the influences that we have on us every day. I think about social media and, constantly comparing ourselves to somebody else. They're driving the BMW, they're in Tahiti on vacation. You really got to think about what you're feeding yourself in terms of messages and also the people that are around you. Are they
That's
lifting you up or are they bringing you down?
bringing
And
you down,
if they're
right?
bringing you down, it's time to get a new collection of friends. It's time to
Absolutely.
fire some of your
And
friends.
this and it's okay to recycle friends if they're not feeding you. I always say this, if they're eating your peace and your joy, they can't have you.
Yeah.
They cannot have you. And if all that you have is to sit in the room and be quiet and be silent, okay, I'll give you that. That's a small step. Do it, but don't isolate yourself alone forever.
Yeah.
Take the step, find the help that you need. And then you're gonna look back and be like, I can't believe I was locking myself in that room. Oh, that thing was funny. It's not funny when you're in the midst of it, but it will one day. You can sit back and laugh at it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You have this baggage claim worldwide collegiate tour, which to me just sounds absolutely awesome. Everyone wants to be a part of this worldwide collegiate tour. What lasting change are you hoping to create on college campuses?
This tour is about giving them the tools, not just for the school, but for life. I
Mhm.
want you, when you walk away from baggage claim, because baggage claim is a safe destination for you to claim, heal, and release any emotional baggage that we all carry. And I understand that many men, young men, boys, and everything in between, do not like the word baggage, right? So that's why the introduction of laugh therapy is there, right? So at the end of the day, both programs are designed to let you know that life will get hard, life will continue to life, but you, sir, you, ma'am, are going to be equipped once you leave this program, this workshop, this interactive workshop, with the tools to go to war, whatever that is. Put on your fire, your gloves, and we're gonna go to war with anything that looks like lack, insecurity, shortcoming, failures, whatever it is that you're dealing with. I want them to know that I'm going to equip you with everything that you need, not just for on campus, but also in life.
I love it. That's a fantastic message. Really good. Now, obviously, you're very comfortable in front of a group. I guarantee you, if I put a microphone in front of you, even at 3 o'clock in the morning, you'll know exactly what to do with that. But maybe not everybody is that comfortable in front of a group. So, talk to us about this campus comedy corner and what would students be able to do there if they're not really comfortable performing in front of a group?
Well, improv and public speaking and stand-up comedy, they have one thing in common. They're gonna make you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So the goal is about becoming free. It's about letting go of anything that you like, anything that you are not comfortable doing. Eventually, once you build the muscle, now you've conquered it. If you're not ready to get on the mic, come vibe. We can laugh. We can support your peers. Just being in the room can shift your energy. Right. And you see someone like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And oftentimes you don't even know that you have it in you to do that.
Mm.
It builds confidence. Healing is literally contagious and laughter is too. And so you might find a new skill set that you're like, I didn't even know I had it in me. Now you do. So it's just about creating a non-judgment free zone and where students can express themselves through laughter. And they may or may not be good. And the goal is if you're ready, step up. If you're not, next time we'll do it again. We'll
I
try it
love it.
again.
I think that's going to be really fun for college students to check out. So I tell you what, I've had a blast here with you today, and I'm in Atlanta all the time speaking for fraternity and sorority conferences. I was just there last week for the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity convention,
Nice.
had a blast. So where should I go the next time I'm in town for a great bite to eat?
Okay, so we in Atlanta, so you got to keep it black a little bit, right?
Yeah, I
So
understand.
the Busy Bee Cafe, they have like literally the best fried chicken. I love South City Kitchen in Buckhead. Excellent. It's very very bougie, very Buckhead in Midtown. They also have a location, but I like the Buckhead location better. Twisted Soul Cooker. I had to write that down because I was like, these restaurants are real good, but I don't go to them all the time. So next time you're there, we're gonna go to next time you're here, we're gonna go to Twisted Soul Cookhouse
All right.
and pours if you like a little cocktail.
Yes.
And then just Toast on Linux, which I love Toast on Linux. Great brunch place. Like Atlanta is known for brunches.
Yeah.
I don't know what the people be doing and why they have so much time to brunch, but we brunch. So come on down and do Toast on Linux. It's a great place. A lot of these places are minority owned, so I love to support those. And when I say minorities, not just Black folks, these are people who are really trying to build their business. And I do all that I can. Women, Asian, all the people, and I love to come and support them.
Yeah, I'm the same way. If I can support these local restaurants, especially minority-owned restaurants, I want them to stay in business. We lost a whole bunch of restaurants during the pandemic, and they're not
Yes,
even around anymore. So I'm like, what can I do to support these like local restaurants to stay in business? Like, I don't want them to go
buy
under.
food.
Buy food. You gotta help. You
Yes,
gotta go and buy food. That's how you keep them in business. Uh,
absolutely.
so, all right. So maybe we did some good for some of those local minority-owned restaurants in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
That's a good thing. All right. So, for all of our students who absolutely love this interview, they laughed and they think that your programs are absolutely incredible, whether it's the Sisterhood Reset program, whether it's, the bags and becoming a guiltless survivor, all of the stuff. Maybe they want to go and buy your book, buy bags, laughing to lighten the load. Where can they go in order to connect with you and get all of the things?
So I am the same thing everywhere except for TikTok. Okay, the people
Uh-huh.
on TikTok, they got me, y'all. They hacked my page on TikTok, but on all social media platforms, I'm the same. It's Kiana, Kiana. Last name is Dancie, and that's also my website, kianadancie.com. On my website, you will see that I also coach. I have coached over 2,000 women on releasing their emotional baggage to become their best self. I would encourage you to consider becoming a part of the Fire Starter Collective. And becoming a fire starter means that you have set fire to anything that has tried to hold you back or hold you down. And that looks like lack or insecurity or failure. Or if you just need a life coach or a business coach, I'm your girl. Yeah.
Fantastic. Go to
So
kianadancie.com. That's spelled KIANADANCIE.com. Go to the website and bring Kiana to your campus. Thank you so much, Kiana, for spending some time with us today. We appreciate it. All right. And to all our audience, if you enjoyed this conversation with Kiana, I want you to like it and I want you to share it with other college students on your campus. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode of the Fraternity Foodie Podcast. Bye for now.